This is Dr. Frank A. Thomas with another spiritual vitamin entitled Living Your Passion. Today I want to talk about a very important lesson that I've learned the hard way, how to sustain joy in ministry. Now, if you're like me, many of us start out with a great amount of enthusiasm and joy for God. I remember when I got first called, I first became a Christian, I was, of course it was not according to knowledge. I had a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge, but I was on fire for God. I had a passion. I was joy. I would do it. I would serve. I'd give. And then as time goes on, I began to lose the joy of serving. So I want to talk about the joy of service, or the impossibility of sustaining sacrifice without joy. Ministry is a sacrifice, and if you can't sacrifice with joy, it can't be sustained. So many of us have the experiences, we start out on fire, and then we flame out. And some people even leave the ministry altogether. A lot of people, a lot of you all viewing me, will leave churches. And we have a whole crowd of people who are, they call them the de-churched, who were once in church, but flamed out, burned out, no longer attend, or either casually attend, only come for the service, won't do anything behind the scenes. So I want to talk to you about how to sustain yourself. One of the suggestions that I make is to find balance. A lot of us are out of balance. So if you're spending untold hours in the church and you're not home with your family, I believe you're out of balance. I experience out of balance as people giving up a lot of the things that they really enjoy because they're spending so much time in ministry. So for example, I hear people, they used to fish. So when I ask them, well, what do you like to do just for the joy of it? What gives you life? They say, fishing gives me life. I said, when was the last time you went fishing? And they said, it's been 10 years. Well, what happened? Well, I got so busy in the church, I couldn't go fishing. Or it's golf, or it's sewing, or it's dancing. I know that's a big one for, some people don't believe in dancing. I understand. But there are people who enjoy these things, hobbies in life, working out, computer, reading, sewing, sawing, knitting, cooking, serving, all these things. And there are people who give up all these things for ministry. And what I find is when you give up the things that you really like and you're doing ministry exclusively, you end up losing your joy. So balance is to serve, but also to do the things that give you life. Playing basketball gives me life. If I get so busy in ministry that I can't play basketball, I lose something. I love to read. And so if I'm too busy to read, then that's an issue. The second thing I want to say is, passion check. Sometimes we're losing our passion and we don't check. A passion check is, remember that accountability partner that I talked to you about, or someone you really trust, to be honest about how you're feeling, about ministry. Sometimes we're so busy serving, we're serving in 5 places, that we lose the passion of where we originally were meant to serve. So sometimes we're serving out of our passion, a passion check. Or sometimes we're serving in our right place, but we've been serving so long at such an intense pace that sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we need to rotate off the usher board. Sometimes we need to take a sabbatical. Sometimes we need to close the business. Sometimes we need to take a day off to get some rest. God created the Sabbath for a reason. And so a lot of people are not able to sustain themselves, first of all, because they shut off the things that they enjoy doing in life. Then they don't take a passion check. They don't take a rest time, a sabbatical, or sometimes it's in our management style. We don't know how to delegate. We don't know how to share the ministry with others. We think if we don't do it, nobody's going to do it. And then we think that we've got to do it all, and we in fact do it all, and people stand around and watch us, and then we say, oh, I'm doing all this work. So I think that passion in ministry is about balance. It's not about a sprint. It's about a long distance run. It's about taking a passion check. Are you really enjoying what you're doing in ministry? When you serve, are you serving out of joy? Or maybe taking a rest? Or maybe stepping out of a leadership position? I used to say in the ministry that I was a part of that it's very difficult to lead for any more than 3 years in a row and not take a break. That leadership in the church is so difficult that 3 years, and I know people who've been leading, they've been on the trustee board for 25 years. They've been a deacon, and I don't mean that you give up. Maybe you can just go into a rest cycle, and after you rest, you can come back to being a deacon. But I believe that we serve, and we don't serve with rest, we don't serve with balance. We stop doing the things that we really enjoy in life, giving it up for ministry. We don't have time for our family and our kids because we're up at the church, or we're serving, or we're doing blah, blah, blah. Or we're in the business. It's not just the church. We may have a business. It's the same thing. So I want you to really give careful check to the long term that you can be in ministry that you can be serving for a long term. So it's a key to sustaining yourself is balance. Do a passion check. Maybe get some rest. Do the things you enjoy. And I believe that you'll sustain yourself in ministry and you'll be around for the long haul. And then we'll come to know the meaning of serving Jesus gets sweeter as the days go by. Many of us quote that, we just don't live it. But I gave you one of the keys to living it today. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget that every Monday we have a Periscope call, a live session on preaching. We also upload to SoundCloud a spiritual vitamin absolutely every week. On Monday, we release a video teaching on preaching, and on Friday, we release another version of Live Your Passion. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to all these platforms. Please share this with your friends. If this is helping your life, blessing your life, share it with somebody. Plant spiritual vitamins in other people's lives. And most of all, I'd love to see you next week. God bless you, and thank you for sharing with me.